Alright guys, so the first thing I like to do is to spray my racks here with some Pam. Even though these pork bellies are going to produce a lot of grease, when they're in the smoker they can tend to get a little bit dry and stick to the metal rack. So I like to go ahead and get some Pam on these. So last night I picked up some pork bellies at Costco, and then I went ahead and cut them into little bite-sized cubes here like this, just to make it a little easier for the morning when I was ready to get them on the smoker. So I'm just gonna put these in the racks. Alright guys, so for this rack I'm going to go ahead and sprinkle on the barbecue rub. And I'm okay with being pretty liberal with it because I definitely want to make sure we get all those good flavors on these pork bellies. Alright, and then for the next, we're going to do, like I said, Meat Church's Honey Hog Barbecue Rub. Alright, barbecue family, so we're going to cook these a couple of different ways. So right here we have the Killer Hogs Rub. The game plan for this one is to leave this on the smoker for 2 hours. After 2 hours, I'm gonna do some things to, give it that burnt ends real flavor, like add some brown sugar, honey, butter. Alright guys, that wind is really kicking up. I don't know if you were able to hear my daughter comment that, with all this wind, today's probably not a great day for barbecue. But for me, every day is a great day for barbecue, so I'm actually kind of excited to take on the challenge. So for the Meat Church Honey Hog burnt ends, which are these two here on the right side, I'm gonna do these a little bit different from the Killer Hogs the barbecue rub. So like I said, my plan is to come back after 2 hours and add some things to the Killer Hogs. Now for the Meat Church, we're gonna try and let these go for 3 hours, and I'm gonna check on them every 45 minutes and spritz them with some apple juice. So 2 different methods. The other tricky part about this cook, besides the wind issue, is again the temperatures inside of these 20-inch offset smokers from LSG. They do not cook evenly like your traditional barrel style pits that they make. So left side is going to cook hotter than the right side. Also, the upper grate also cooks hotter than the lower grate. So I have to take into account that these 2 racks here on the bottom aren't going to cook as fast as the 2 on the top. So I might flip them around a little bit to try to even that out. I'm not sure, I haven't decided yet. And then also taking into account, again, that the left side cooks hotter than the right side. This is the hottest this is going to be the hottest side of the pit over here on the left side. So kind of have to take all these factors into consideration, and that will probably, I know it's going to cause me to make some adjustments to, you know, my expected cooking time. So this is where having an instant read thermometer like a Thermopin will come in handy. I'm going to rely on that so I can check on internal temps, make sure that, you know, everything is going according to plan. Let's get this closed up. Let that cooker to inside to recover those temps from when I had it open, and we'll let you guys know how it all goes. All right, guys, things are still going pretty well. According to Dark Sky, wind gusts in my area are still at 22 miles per hour. Temperature in the LSG is holding steady at about 250. So we've made it through the first 45 minutes. So what I've decided to do, I'm going to rotate these clockwise. So I'm going to move every one of the grates over one position so they all, you know, hopefully it'll kind of even out the cooking temps. But anyway, like I had mentioned, my plan with the meat church burnt ends, which are these two, they're a little bit lighter in color than the barbecue rub burnt ends, so that'll help me keep them, tell them apart. But anyway, my plan is to just spray these every 45 minutes. Whereas the barbecue rub version, they're gonna get some liquid a little bit later in the cook. So actually, let me go back. I gotta put on some heat resistant gloves so I can rotate my grates, my cooking racks here, and we'll check back in probably another 45 minutes. All right, guys, we're another 45 minutes have passed, so we're an hour and a half into the cook. You know, when I mentioned that the cooker was holding at 250, I was referring to the temperature here in the upper left. So that's my reference point. That's the hottest part of the inside of the smoker. So I'm gonna rotate these again and spray the meat church, which is the ones here on the bottom. So actually, I think I'm gonna go ahead and move these around first. But I like the color on all of them. So again, these two here on the left side are the meat church. The two on the right are the killer hogs. And, you know, because I'm doing this rotation, whereas I thought I was initially going to let the killer hogs go for 2 hours and then, you know, add some stuff to it. I think I'm just gonna go ahead, let it go for 3 hours, start checking temperatures, and then make a decision whether or not I think the killer hogs version is ready for the next step, as well as whatever, you know, the next step is for the meat church. I have to go back and look at my notes to confirm what that is. Anyway, let me get this closed back up. Come back out in another 45 minutes. Okay, barbecue family, so here's where we are after a little bit more than 3 hours with all of these pork bellies soaking in that smoke from the wood, and I've been using cherry and pecan wood. And now it's time to move to what I call phase 2 of the cook. So what we're looking at here are the burnt ends that have been seasoned with the Killer Hogs V barbecue rub. So what I'm about to do now is I'm going to add some butter, and I'm also going to add about half a cup of brown sugar, and I'm also going to top it off by drizzling it all with some honey. So first let me add the sugar. So this is the part where, you know, you're really gonna make your pork belly burnt ends burst with flavor. Also, I checked the temperature when I pulled these off, and they were all in the 180 to 185 degree range. So finishing temperature when it's all said and done, I expect these to be around 205 degrees, and that'll make them super tender. We're gonna get all this sugar in there. All right, next, I cut into little pats about 1.5 sticks of unsalted butter. So let's look at what that looks like with all that butter. And last step here, I'm gonna give this all a nice drizzling with some honey. So we got some brown sugar, some unsalted butter, and a nice dosage of honey. I'm going to cover this with some foil and get this back out on the smoker for at least another hour, checking for the temperature to get up to 205 internal. And then there'll be one last step. That's where I'm gonna add some barbecue sauce to give it a nice glaze at the end. All right, guys, so these are the burnt ends with the Meat Church Honey Hog Rub. And we're going to finish these off a little bit differently from the others. So I'm gonna start off by giving it another good dosage of the rub. Go pretty liberal. All right, next I'm gonna coat it all with some Blues Hog original barbecue sauce. Similar to what we did with the barbecue rub version, I'm gonna drizzle this with some honey. All right, we're gonna get the Meat Church version back out on the smoker. We're gonna leave it uncovered, and that will actually help me tell the difference between the two versions. So this is the last step for the Meat Church version. Gonna leave this out on the smoker for about an hour. Similar to the other version that I'm doing, I'm looking for a final internal temperature of about 205 degrees. So we'll see where we are in 1 hour, decide if we need to keep them on the smoker a little bit longer. All right, barbecue family, so here's where we are. So what we're looking at is the version of the burnt ends with the barbecue rub. So I checked the internal temp and these are right at 205 degrees. So these are now ready for the last step. So what I'm gonna do, first I'm gonna drain this liquid out, and then I'm gonna come back, hit it with this glaze, and then get it back out on the smoker for maybe another 10-15 minutes tops. All right, barbecue family, so here's a look at the finished product. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna let these cool off, let them rest for about maybe 10 minutes. Then I'm gonna have Janine come down, do a quick taste testing, see which one she likes. Now this is the tried and true Killer Hogs, the barbecue rub, along with the glaze that I made for the final step, which is also based on the Killer Hogs, the barbecue sauce. This one will be new for both of us. This is based on Meat Church's Honey Hog barbecue rub. I don't know if that's in focus. I don't think it was. But anyway, you know what I'm talking about. All right, so we've got our two types here. Janine is eager to get started. She doesn't know which is which, so I'm gonna go ahead and let her get started because she can't wait. Go for it.
Alright, I'm gonna dip it in the sauce. And maybe get one of these that was like drowning in the sauce. Maybe 3, sorry. That's good. That's really good. Okay.
Okay, well.
Let me switch.
All right, well, I'll let her go ahead and try the second one. This is
Yours?
use your fork.
Oh, man. Come on in. The water's fine. Alright, I think I'm just gonna get like 3 of these too. Alright. Hold up. Sorry if I didn't hear me. That's still really, really good. And it is really tasty. That's really delicious.
This one's really good too.
That was no 2. That's good. It's got a smoky, sort of hickory flavor, and it's really just bringing it. That's really good.
So you feel like you taste more of the smoke with this one?
Mm-hmm. I taste a little bit more of the sauce with this one. And the sauce is a little bit like lighter. And this is just like rich and dark and smoky and hickory, and that's really good.
Okay, so I mean, I did use primarily I used pecan and cherry wood, but I did run out of pecan, so there was a little. I put 1 hickory split on at the end.
Yeah.
I don't know if Janine is capable of telling the difference between pecan smoke and hickory smoke.
Yeah, this is lighter and that's like a richer, deeper, It's really good.
So actually, I do agree that the second one has more. It's more rich. It's kind of more of a bold
It's a more
flavor
bit more of a gut.
going on.
Yeah. Yeah, it works.
So I take it you like the second one.
I like them both. This is not hurting me at all, but I like this one a lot. But I'll eat them both. No problem.
So the one on the left over here, the first one that Janine tried, that's actually the tried and true. That's the one that's based on the Killer Hogs beef barbecue rub. We've been making this one pretty much ever since we started making smoked pork belly burnt ends. And I was actually expecting it to come out on top because it has the brown sugar, the honey, the apple butter, got all that going on. But I agree with Janine. I actually like the second one even more. The second one again is based on the Meat Church honey hog rub, and it has the Blues Hog original flavored barbecue sauce and some honey. No apple butter. I mean, that's it. Pretty cut and dry. So few less things going on in this one, but the difference in the flavor was pretty pronounced.
It seems like it just brought it out more. It's not as hidden as this one.
Right.
Yeah, works for me.
So I was surprised, but
It's really good.
we'll definitely keep them both in the arsenal.
Yeah.
But for sure, I'll be making. I'll be making, the second version more often.
Yeah, this is it. Is this my Valentine's Day? This is really good. Just put my name on it.
Okay, well, no, I'm not going to say you can have the whole thing for Valentine's Day, but it can be part of the Valentine's Day gift. So guys, you're watching this. I guess, if you make this recipe for your significant other, you get some, good brownie points for Valentine's Day. Clearly, it's a winner. Janine is happy. So thanks again for joining me on the Backyard SmokeMaster Barbecue channel. Appreciate the support. If you like what's happening here, please subscribe. Leave comments. I love hearing from you guys. Love getting your suggestions on different things to try and cook. So appreciate you joining me on my barbecue journey. This is Kenyatta Robinson signing off. Take care. See you in the next one.